Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are talking with Dave Golokhov, SBR contributor right now. It's the Monday after NFL Week 11, and we're doing our regular call with him where we find out what he learned from the NFL Week 11 results that might indicate or imply betting value going forward. Dave Golokhov, thanks for being back with us.
Hey, good to see you.
All right, so interesting week, right? First of all, KC covered again. They're now 8-2 against the spread. Rams won outright as a big underdog again. That's the third week in the past 5 weeks that's happened. The Pats are awesome, 5-1 against the spread last 6. Green Bay, awesome, 6-1 against the spread last 7. What's your take on it yet, Dave Golokhov?
Well, I mean, there's a lot to talk about. You know, actually, last week's video wasn't so much. This week's so much to learn from. You know me, I like the big macro picture. You're more micro. I mean, week to week, I think, first of all, from the things you mentioned, I'd be careful with Green Bay. I know they have a soft schedule. They could actually win this schedule outright. But just remember that a couple weeks ago, they laid a big egg on the road in New Orleans. And New Orleans has proven to be pretty bad since then. So Green Bay, different team at home compared to on the road, but I know they've got a soft schedule. Patriots are getting charged up for the playoffs. I mean, they look great. I would continue to lay numbers with them, you know, especially at home. I'm trying to think. They're playing Detroit this week. That's a very short line for a Detroit team that couldn't cover 7 in Arizona with Drew Stanton. Now, you know, New England, this just looks like a shoo-in. So I do like New England. Great ground game, great defense. Weather's getting colder. Passing game is working. Like them in pretty much any situation under 10 versus any team, I would say, that's second tier or worse, you know, as long as they're not playing Denver or someone like that. But speaking of Denver, I mean, my God, this team is, I told you they're flawed a few weeks ago. It's a continuation of the same. I mean, they put everything on Peyton Manning's shoulders. Teams have figured them out. Yesterday's game looked like the Super Bowl, to be honest with you. I know it sounds crazy, but Rams did whatever they wanted on offense. Mm-hmm. The Broncos, quote-unquote, improved defense. The number one run defense got violated yesterday. Manning, I mean, can't do everything by himself. What was it? There was like 54 passes and 9 rushes. And this is just, it's the same, it's a broken record here. So I guess we'll start with that there.
All right, so then you expect that maybe Denver will be a good bet against in the upcoming weeks down the stretch?
I want to see what their lines are like. I mean, I would put it this way. When they're facing a bad pass rush like Oakland a couple weeks ago, they can run up the score. When anybody who has a decent enough pass rush like the Rams, like the Patriots twice in the last 3 weeks, it really throws everything off. This team I think this team can run the ball. I don't want to say they can't run the ball. They can run the ball, but they don't. Against New England, 57 passes, something like 14 or 15 runs. Against the Rams yesterday in what was mostly a 1 or 2 score, maybe a 2-score game, but nothing really worse than 10 points for most of that game. They threw, 54 times and ran the ball 9 times. As long as they're playing somebody with a weak pass rush, if this team can get ahead, I do like them against the big numbers. Anybody with a good pass rush, I'd be careful of.
Okay, and then also, I don't know if you have any opinion on this outcome, on this result, but Cincy, they're not that bad. 2 weeks ago, they looked like the worst team in the entire NFL ever on Thursday night. Andy Dalton looked like the worst quarterback in the NFL history. And then they come in, they beat the Saints in the Dome. They're not that bad.
Yeah, well, listen, careful giving compliments to Ryan Leaf there. But, I think I would actually look, this credit to the Bengals for, getting it together and playing well. A.J. Green, having a healthy A.J. Green is obviously a big difference. Running the ball is obviously a big difference too. But I think that the Saints have some problems here. I mean, the Saints lose at home to San Francisco, lose at home to Cincinnati. I'm not ready to anoint the Bengals as fixed just yet. I think the bigger story here is that the Saints have some really big problems.
All right, so then you think that this was an anomalous thing, that maybe the Saints will be a good fade going forward. I believe you said that you thought they'd be a little bit overvalued in a previous show.
Yeah, we talked about the Saints, I think, early in the year. I told you that the Saints team needed home field advantage to go to the playoffs and make any noise whatsoever. This team's they might not even make the playoffs. I mean, even a couple of weeks ago, we said, hey, even in the NFC South, even with a whatever record, this team still goes to the playoffs. they've blown that lead. Heck, Tampa Bay's only 2 games out of first place in this crummy division. I think the Saints are still the best team right now, but Atlanta's got a pretty soft schedule, and I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this New Orleans, they just have some serious issues on the defensive side, and something does not look right with Drew Brees. I don't know what it is, but this passing game, this offense is not lethal, and it's kind of weird because they're running the ball better than they have in the last few years. So I'd be very, very careful betting the Saints in any situation. We know on the road that they're trash. And now at home, before these 2 weeks, they were 20-0 at home with Sean Payton on the sidelines. They've now lost back-to-back weeks at home. I'd be very careful betting this team.
All right, Dave, what else did you learn from NFL Week 11 you'd like to share with us?
Well, I think that, you have to take a look at the two of the top 3 teams in the NFC losing in Philadelphia and Detroit. I think both those teams really blew big opportunities. I think Detroit's done in terms of winning that division. I think Green Bay steamrolls the rest of the way, and Detroit they're going to do what they always do. They're going to be 5th or 6th. They're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs. They're going to get smoked this week in New England. This Detroit, listen, their defense is great. But their offense has all sorts of issues. I don't know what is going on with that offense, but they can't score. They can't move the ball. That's a problem. Other issue that we all learned is, hey, Mark Sanchez is still a flaming hot pile of garbage. I mean, we looked at all week long, all I heard was, Chip Kelly, he's got the system. He could put anybody in there, Matt Barkley, Mark Sanchez. I was hearing like the resurgence of Sanchez and all this stuff. Yeah, he's still the same guy. 95 turnovers in 65 career games. He can move the ball as he's done in New York. He didn't have too many problems, before he became a head case in the last couple of years, moving the ball forward. But this guy's a turnover machine. 14 points yesterday directly handed to the Green Bay Packers. Best thing from Twitter that I saw yesterday was the nickname Sanchez Claus. Yeah, he's going to be giving up plenty of candy and plenty of presents in December. I think the Eagles are in trouble.
Dave Golokhov, interesting thoughts. Dave Golokhov kind of down on the Eagles, Detroit, and a little bit down on the Saints as well. Thanks so much, Dave. Talk to you next week.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.